Zach Edwards here for another Stump the Creator. Thank you for joining me to try to stump me as the creator of Historical Conquest. Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't been stumped before. I've actually been stumped like 2 or 3 times. But it's very rare for me to be stumped on my game because we've had 8 years of vetting this game and the rules and everything else. So a lot of times it's very hard to stump me, but there are always new cards that are coming up, especially when we come up with a new booster pack. Now we're having internal struggle. I need to ask you about this. Let me explain the game first, and then we'll get to the internal struggle. So Historical Conquest, or Stump the Creator, is basically where you try to stump me as the creator of Historical Conquest. You come up with questions about the rules, about the cards, about the game itself, but not about history, not about life, not about other topics, because I'm not the expert. About the game, I'm the expert. So let's get to this. Now, the internal struggle. Let me give you a little heads up. You know what? Maybe I should do this at the end of the game. No, I'm too worried I'm going to forget by the end of the game. So let's go with the internal struggle. We are trying to figure out which one we want to design next. Do we want to design a new randomized booster pack? Do we want to do and Josh, I know you watch these. You cannot answer that. It does not apply because you already put your statement in there. So everyone, do we do the randomized booster pack? Do we do a new expansion pack? Or do we do a new starter pack? So I'd like to hear your insight on which deck or pack or whatnot that we design next, because we're starting to get to the point, because COVID's over with, that we can start designing cards again. We actually put it on hold just while COVID was going through, because we had a drop in revenue like everyone else did because of what was happening. So we'd love to have your insight. Now, on to today's question. So this is a question by, Joel B. So Joel, thank you so much for giving us this question. We actually did respond. Okay, he was asking, the first question is how to access Stump the Creator. I told him. Now, I guess he has another one. Okay, so Joel, here we go. Diving into your question. Okay, here's my Stump the Creator question. My brother and I were playing a game when he played Destruction of the Temple on me. I played J.P. Morgan to reverse the event. At first, when my brother played the initial card, he had the choice of which of the lands to destroy. Now, I'm bringing up the picture of the Destruction of the Temple and showing and sharing screen this. Let's see. Boom, there we go. So it says one of your opponent's lands must be discarded, and all characters moved to other lands. Okay, now whenever it says this, you also have to remember that there is continent issues, meaning you can't just send someone from South America all the way over to Africa. Doesn't apply unless you have an explorer to transport them. So, but if you have something that's connected by land, and you have something like the invention of the automobile or locomotive, then you can transport them by lands that are connected by land. So countries that are connected by land. So in this one of your opponent's lands must be discarded. So the card goes away. This is like a Chernobyl. This is like not the atomic bomb, because it doesn't go away, but a few others where the country goes away completely and you cannot use it. And all characters move to other lands. Now, if you have a reverse, it's a perfect time to use a reverse, because you can send it on back on your opponent. Now, so this is played, and then let me bring up J.P. Morgan. It says interrupt, reverse any event card your opponent plays. Your opponent feels the effects. So if my brother and I were playing the game and he played Destruction of the Temple on me, so say that I am Joel, and then I play it, boom, back on him, reverses back on him. At first, now this is back to the question. At first, when my brother played the initial card, he had the choice of which of my lands to destroy. After I played J.P. Morgan, though, is it my choice of which of this lands to destroy? Because you're reversing it. Yes, it is your decision. Because I reversed the event, and therefore it acts as if I played the card against him? Or is it the choice of my brother who initially played the card, because the fact remains that he still played destruction of the temple? Well, if you're reversing the ability, you basically gain the abilities of that person. Now, this might hit me, shoot me in the foot, and you guys can tell me in the comments below, because if I'm playing this after, oops, let me see, after the destruction, no, not that. There we go. After the destruction of the temple, you get an ability. So one of your opponent's lands must be discarded. So actually, it doesn't say who gets to choose from the beginning, but usually it's the person that plays the game. So a clarification would be nice to have it here. Who's playing that card? But I'm going to give it to the person that's playing the card that gets to choose. And then if you reverse it, that means you get to choose, not the person, because you're using the ability back on them. You get to choose who it happens, or which country to choose. Now, last part of this question says, summary. When an event card is played that requires a target chosen by the card's owner/player, and then is reversed, who chooses its target? It's the person that now has gained control of that card. You don't exactly gain control of it. Let me correct myself there. But if you're reversing it, means you get to use that ability to redirect it. It would be nice to actually have it written in the card. You're right. So thank you on giving that clarification. But at the same time, it does not take that ability away. Since that other opponent gets to choose, you now get to choose. Hope that makes it clear. Please put it in the comments below. I'd really like to get your insight on this card and the abilities and reversing it. So thank you so much for joining me on this Stump the Creator, and we will catch you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.